Welcome back, everyone, to Battle of the Bosses, Salford Edition, the end of Season 2. It's been a while since we recorded one of these, so hopefully you remember what we're doing. This here is Elmo.
Hi.
And I have, of course, Junet, and we're looking at my perspective. At the end of Season 2, see how we've done. Over on Elmo's channel, which is linked in the description below, we will have his Season 2 as well, and all of the episodes so far for him as well, so you can follow along with both of us, see how things are going. Now, going back to the whole Battle of the Bosses series, it's simple. We take over the same team, the same save, everything's the same, apart from how we approach things. One season, generally, to see how things go. This one's different. This is obviously 5 seasons. At the end of Season 1, you had the advantage based off the top goal scorer, which was it Mr. Richards in insane form. Which gives you the advantage, but we are now League One, and this could change a lot of things this season. Now, in the mid-season update, I was already out of all the cup competitions. I only had the league left to play for, so before we get to what's happened in the league, I'm just going to run through the cup competitions and see what's happened there first. So this Papa John's trophy that we really do not care about at all. We came third in our group, knocked out. Oh no, shame. Second round in the Northern stage, the two Manchester teams under 23s both going through. It's kind of tough to pick out big teams in this group, in this sort of competition. But Derby beating Sheffield Wednesday on penalties is a tasty game there. Rotherham Mansfield is a local derby as well, as most of them are, to be fair, at this stage. Third round, Leeds under 23s knocked out Manchester City under 23s on penalties. So Manchester City will not be winning this trophy. Manchester United go through on penalties over Derby. Morecambe beating Rochdale on penalties to go through, and Burton beating Rotherham not on penalties, just to ruin it. We couldn't have had all of them penalties, could we? Quarterfinals. You can see Arsenal under 23s made it through the southern section. They are now out, losing to Leeds. Manchester United going out on penalties, this time to Shrewsbury. Watford beating Morecambe and Burton beating Portsmouth. Then we had the battle of the under-23s in the semi-finals. Leeds going through to the final where they faced Burton after 4-3 over Shrewsbury. What a game that is. And Leeds under-23s are the champions of the Papa John's Trophy with a 2-1 victory over Burton. And I was just going to... I think this might be a trophy that Leeds have actually won themselves before. They have not, fair enough. I seem to think they had when they were in League One, but no, there we go. Leeds under 23s are the champions of that trophy nobody cares about. We covered this in part 1, but Liverpool beat Everton in the Community Shield. Carabao Cup. You may remember I had that miracle run where I made it to the 4th round before losing to Bournemouth 3-0. As of the mid-season update, I think the semi-finals had yet been played. Liverpool beat Bournemouth, who of course knocked me out. Tottenham beat Blackburn. So in the final, Liverpool win the Carabao Cup, beating Tottenham 2-1 in the final. Rashford and Salah joint top scorers in that competition. Nobody for me, despite making it to that stage. But we did have the joint most clean sheets with Neil Etheridge and Nyland as well. So, well done, Jakob Hein. FA Cup, we got knocked out in the 2nd round. The 3rd round had been played, but the 4th round, big teams. QPR beating Tottenham 1-0 and Leeds beating Arsenal 1-0 as well. So 2 of the big 6 being knocked out in the 4th round to teams that you generally expect them to beat. The rest of them, Liverpool beating Swansea, Chelsea beating Bournemouth, Manchester United beating Aston Villa 5-3 after extra time. Certainly got your money's worth in that one. And Manchester City, with an easy draw, shock, beating Wimbledon 3-1. No disrespect to Wimbledon fans there, but it's Man City. 5th round, Liverpool beat Wolves, Manchester United 7, QPR 0. So,
this isn't real life. We can't score 7 against... Well, unless it's Leeds, we can't score that many goals.
What does that say about Tottenham? Man City beating Brentford 2-0 and Chelsea threw on penalties against Blackburn. Also wins for Sheffield United, Leeds, Watford and Burnley. Quarter-finals, Manchester United beating Leeds 1-0. So the content
Hey.
game, Sheffield United 4-0 over Burnley, Liverpool 1, Man City 0. I love to see that scoreline. And Chelsea 2, Watford 0. So all 4 home teams from the quarterfinals going through to the semis, where we have 1 from the Midlands, 2 from the North, and 1 from the South in there. Chelsea beat Sheffield United 3-1. Manchester United beat Liverpool
Oh, you love to
2-0
see it.
to get into the final, where Chelsea win 3-1 in the
Ooh.
final. So Chelsea win the FA Cup for the first time in 5 years in game. We don't care about the Panorama National League that much, so we'll skip through them. League 2, obviously where we started. We could be potentially playing some of these teams coming up next season, depending what's happened. Cambridge going up as champions, Forest Green Rovers and Walsall going up with Northampton and Sutton yet to play in the playoff final to see who's joining them. Exeter and Oldham going down. Oldham's a pretty big team to be relegated. So, a team that were in the initial Premier League when that first started.
Yeah, I
Now
remember
a
that.
non-league side. We're going to skip over League 2, League 1. We'll come to that. Again, potentially playing Birmingham, Wickham and Millwall, who have come down from the Championship. Brentford as champions, Newcastle in second, and Palace or Reading going up via the playoffs. You'd imagine Palace based on the size of the teams and, an 8-point difference there. But again, teams like Birmingham going down is a pretty big one there. Premier League, Everton relegated next year, apparently. So
Oh, they should have gone down this year.
hopefully. Bournemouth and Norwich also going down. Man City win the league. So Manchester United were top at the halfway stage, but Man City winning the league by 3 points. Both of them comfortably ahead of Liverpool in third, who were 10 points ahead of Arsenal in fourth. Tottenham in fourth. Oops. Arsenal in fifth, Chelsea in sixth, and Leicester in seventh. No real shocks there. Blackburn in the first season back in the Premier League in 13th, probably.
Leeds being in 8th.
Yeah, Leeds up in 8th, given what's happened in real life, I suppose. Yeah, Everton being relegated is very, very nice. And the league that we're all here to see is League 1. Plymouth have gone up by the playoffs, but we are league champions by 9 points ahead of Charlton.
Wow.
We were top at the halfway point, but yeah, we've been decent in the end of the season. Obviously, Charlton coming up with us. Accrington, Crawley, Fleetwood, and Gillingham all relegated. You can see there I had the top goal scorer, Joe Hugill, 24 league goals. Top 2 in average ratings, the most clean sheets as well. It's been a relatively comfortable league season for us. 9 defeats, which is the joint best in the league with Portsmouth. 8 draws, which is the best, and obviously the most wins there. Schedule-wise, since we were here, you can see we had a bit of a patchy run of form. We only got 3 wins in there, but a lot of draws. But we were just generally comfortable anyway, especially after beating Charlton in our first game after that mid-season update. They were probably in the hunt until they got destroyed pretty much in 2 games. 9 goals across 2 games isn't great. By defeats against us and Plymouth as well. It's probably a bit too much to ask for Charlton, but they put up a good fight. They did put up a good fight, and of course they get promotion regardless, so they will be happy with that. This win over Fleetwood was the one that sealed it. Tevez and Hugill scoring before Jed Gardner scoring for penalty, and perhaps luckily, because if we'd have dropped points there, they'd been very, very nervy with this run of form. But yeah, we ended up winning the league regardless. So we will be in the Championship next season. We'll be playing Everton, which is pretty crazy to think about. Squad-wise, appearances, Joe Hugill played 52 games this season. 52 games. That's a lot of football. Scoring 29 goals and bagging 7 assists as well. I mean, just look at this difference in goal scorers. 29 and then 7 for the next 3, which is McElney, Morris, and Carlos Tevez. Always love seeing his name pop up there.
Very It very much seems like you went with the Gareth Southgate tactics of pass to this one player and let him score all the goals.
Well, I mean, even last season, he was by far the top goal scorer. Probably due to the fact that I do play with one striker.
Mm.
Um, Assist-wise, you can see, though, 3 players in double figures. Toure, again, for the second year in a row, being the top assistee. Morris and Tevez in double figures as well. Average ratings, good chunk of players above 7. I'm just moving positions around there. Good chunk of players above 7. So yeah, we played pretty well at this season in terms of players' contracts expiring. You can see we've got a lot here expiring. Ashley and Thorpe will be going back off loan there. They won't be staying for another season. Sinclair and Ndaba have already agreed transfers. They will be joining the club in in a couple of weeks when transfer window opens. And a couple of these players I'm in talks with for new contracts, but I do think a lot of them will be leaving the club and will be looking to bring in some fresh blood. Jakobine and Hugel, I'd already extended their loans till the end of next season as well. So them two are definitely staying. Again, like to sign both of them at some point, potentially on a permanent. And we've been given 5 million to spend in the championship. We got 25 grand a week to spend as well on wages. So we've got room to play with. It's ambitious considering our budget is overall balance is only 3.2 million. Giving me 5 million doesn't seem like the most financially smart move.
It's just one. It's one of those where championship. Obviously, your players need to make that step up that have played well this season. Any players that you bring in kind of need to make an impact straight away. Because you've said that you might be losing some of the players that towards the end of the contract. So if to lose someone that's played well this season and replace them could be tough. So it's going to be interesting for you.
Yeah, so if I just go to there, you can see we've got 3 players that are out of contract that we are looking to extend. Obviously, Ndaba and Sinclair have already signed. So we've got Tyler Golden, Liam Shepherd, and Carlos Tevez that I'm looking to try and keep for another season. Tevez is looking to be, well, my idea is for him to be a player / coach as well. So I'm looking to try and transition him into the coaching role. And I mean, you can see here, he's on 2.1 grand at the moment. He's potentially going on to £675 a week. So that's a pretty big drop. We'll ignore Shepherd, who's going up to 4.1. Golden is only 300
got
quid more.
Ryan
But
Astley on 5.5.
yeah, it's a big risk. It's a big risk, but they're giving me this budget to play with. And I'm still going off the basis that we are going to be losing a lot of players. So these core players that have helped me so much, I want to reward them and try and be smart with the incomings.
You've
Because,
got
like I
quite a big
say,
squad anyway, haven't
yeah, like I say, I've mentioned that them two are coming in, but we've also got Louis Watson joining us as well from Derby. He's joining on a free transfer. He can play either side. Looking mainly for him to be a centre mid, as you can see, is his natural preference. Doesn't tell me how much he's coming on. £750 a week for him, so
that's not bad.
that's not much at all. And I'll just round it off with the club vision where I'm an A-, but I'm disappointed of me playing attacking football and not signing players under the age of 21. I don't think they're going to care too much if we keep winning leagues and getting promoted. Delighted with the high tempo pressing football, satisfied with direct football, entertaining football. I still don't get how he can play direct football but entertaining and attacking. I still don't get it.
The thing is, it's good that obviously you've won the league, you got promoted in championship, which is huge for Salford. Next season could be completely go either side. You could get promoted again, or you could have a disastrous season and get sacked halfway through because the pressure's so high.
Yeah, I mean, you see their expectations is just to avoid relegation next season. And by the end of the season, they want to just be established in the championship. To avoid frequent battles with relegation within that time frame. I've already passed repairing the club's financial damage. We'll see how long that lasts when I've got 5 million to spend.
Which your contract ends next season.
Potentially be 7.2 million. So yeah, I'm about to make this club go absolutely bankrupt. But yeah, you say contract expires. Um, I imagine we'll get another one, even if we don't do very well last season. Next season, you'd imagine they're still going to offer us one, providing we don't end up with like 0 points by Christmas.
Yeah, the thing with teams like this is they don't want to offer you long contracts either, do
No.
they? It's usually like 1, maybe 2 seasons. So even if they do give you one, it might only be 1 season.
Yeah, because I think the initial contract we got when we started was 2 year, and I believe
Mm,
both were extended by a year as well.
I think
I
so, yeah.
believe so. Yeah, that's how my end of season 2 is going so far. Pause this video right now and go and check out Elmo's because he'll be back very, very shortly with the points scoring between us. So you're going to want to know what's happening on his side of things before we get to that. So we'll see you in the point scoring. So now hopefully you've watched both of our episodes. If not, do go and watch them now to see how each of us have done at the end of season 2. We're back for our points. We have realised there's something that we didn't touch on during the episode, which were the awards. So when we come to that point section, we'll just talk through that. Now, both of us had seasons in League One this season, and the points have gone up from last season. It's now 75 points winning the league, going down to 3 points of being relegated. So a massive range of points scoring there. Now, in League One, I did indeed win the league, so I got 75 points for that. Elmo, where did you finish?
I finished 3rd.
You did, so you take my number and you turn it around and you get 57 points for that. The FA Cup,
That's a big drop.
it is,
All
it
for 1
is.
point.
So 18 points difference there. The FA Cup, I went out of the second round, so nothing for me there.
I went out in the 4th round, but still nothing there.
Which is where I went out in the Carabao Cup in the 4th round, but I get no points for that either.
And I got the same points as you, but I went out in the 1st round.
Yes. The Papa John's Trophy, where I went out in the group stages and I get 0 points. Oh no.
And I went out in the 2nd round and I got 0.
Yeah. So it's 75-57 at the moment. So we didn't even touch on the Cups at all because they're all 0. Now, the awards, you get points for coming first, second, or third in the Manager of the Year, the Player of the Year, and the Young Player of the Year. League One doesn't have a Young Player of the Year, so we only get the points based off 2 awards. Now, the Manager of the Year, I did indeed win, and they only actually offer out 1 place in League One. So I was the best manager of the year, and I get 9 points for that. Now, the Player of the Year was won by Alfie Kilgore of Salford, a centre-back. Again, they only offer out 1 place for that, but I get another 9 points, which gives me 18 points from awards. Did you or your players win an award?
No, sadly not. So, if I go quickly to the Player of the Year was won by Joe Wall of Nottingham Forest, so I get nothing there. And the Manager of the Year was Liam Manning of MK Dons, so I win nothing there.
I was just about to say it's a surprise seeing a defender win a Player of the Year award, but I've just looked and last year a goalkeeper won it in League One on mine, so apparently anyone can win these awards nowadays. And the top scorer. Now, this is obviously the difference between my top scorer and Elmer's top scorer. My top scorer was Joe Hugel with 29 goals this season in all competitions, and yours was?
Mine was because I don't just have the players pass to one player. Mine was Rodell Richards again, but he only scored 23.
So I gained 6 points this time around. Not quite as big as what you gained last season, where you had a 24 goal advantage over me last season. But I've basically turned that around by 30 this season. So
Yeah.
next season, when I'm scoring 36 points, we won't, because we're in different divisions next season, which means there is no top scorer points for next season.
Yeah, we didn't think it was fair because obviously 2 different leagues, different difficulties in the teams that you're playing and that lot. So we just didn't think it was fair to carry that apart over.
Yeah, especially say like if one gets to the Premier League, doesn't get Europe, you're playing a lot less than a team that's still in League One, for example. But then on the flip side, you could potentially be signing better strikers and better goal
Yeah.
scorers. Like it's obviously not going to happen because I've only got 4.5 on the spend. But say if I went out and got Haaland, then it's a bit unfair if you're still stuck in League One or League Two.
But
And
in Championship, you could loan out better strikers. Loan
yes,
in, sorry, better strikers.
yeah. So we just decided it wasn't fair to be doing them over split seasons and divisions. But the total points for season 2 is Elmo gets 57 points and I get 99, one short of 100 points, 99 points. So I win season 2, you won season 1. But the overall is what matters at the end of these 5 seasons. The league totals are currently 125 to 107 in my favour. The awards, I have 24, you have 6, and the top scorer, you have 24, I have 6. So I lead by 18 points overall at the moment, 155 to 137 with 3 seasons left to go. So it's tight.
Yeah.
It's very, very tight. And the way we have the scoring structured, Elmo has a very good chance of gaining a lot of points on me next season, despite being a division below. Because if he wins the league, I have to be third or higher to gain points on him. So we've tried to structure it so it's fair that, you know, if you do race up the league, so one person's stuck, you're not getting destroyed. Because what's the point of carrying on the save then?
Yeah.
So we've tried to make it as fair as possible, and I think this system is fair. It's going to be a massive challenge for both of us.
It is weird because obviously you've gone up and you could have a very good season or a very bad season. And same with me, I could still have a bad season in League One. And one of us could get sacked halfway through the season.
Yep.
But it would be interesting if I did win the league or just got promoted and you got relegated, because then the season after the tables have turned.
Yeah, and it just makes it even more interesting then going forward. But like I say, even if I finish in mid-table and you come up, you're going to be gaining points on me.
Mhm.
So it might not be the worst thing for you to be stuck in that division after finishing third and losing in the playoff final, because overall you probably gain more points than me. I basically have to go up again this season to make it worth it.
Yeah.
So no pressure or anything. But it is also interesting to see how the saves are different in terms of different teams, like who's come down, who's doing well, in all the divisions, because we have had a huge variance on teams.
Yeah, yeah, and we've seen it when we've done other Battle of the Bosses, when we've looked around the other leagues in other countries and how different it is, and where teams are playing, who's winning what cups, and what have you. And the signings as well, all the different signings.
Yeah,
So it just shows how different each save can be in Football Manager, which is good because you can't say that it's fixed or anything like that. You literally could load up the exact same save by
yeah.
the same players, and you could have completely different seasons.
And if you haven't been watching from the start, that's what this is. It's the exact same save file. I've loaded this game up and sent that save over to Elmo. He's downloaded it and loaded it into the exact same save as me. So player current ability and potential ability starts off the exact same. Everything is the exact same. And
The money we started with at the start,
yeah,
it was exactly the same. The only difference is obviously how much we're spending, who we buy, who we let go, the tactics, everything like that.
yeah,
And it just shows two different style of management as well between me and you.
and people may have noticed in mine that Newcastle got promoted. We started this off in the initial game, so not after the takeover, so they haven't got that Saudi money. Um, yeah, in fact, they've not even been taken over on mine, so they haven't got that Saudi money at all. So if you wonder why they're not spending big and doing fantastic, that is why. It's from the
Yeah.
initial update, which is why you might have seen a couple of people in the game that aren't in game anymore either. We'd already started, it wasn't fair to restart.
Yeah, and you can't just remove them or make changes halfway through.
No, no, because again, at that point, so much has changed that it's that sort of, is it Mandala effect, where if you affect one thing, it
Something
affects
like that.
everything. Whatever effect that is, let us know down in the comments, whatever it is, because I know what I'm talking about at least. But yeah, our next update on this save will be the start of season 3. We'll have played pre-season and probably a couple of games as well, because that's how it seems to work out. But in between
I'll have
this,
played the Carabao Cup as well, because that's how it usually works out.
I will join that in the second round now, I believe, being in the
Yeah.
championship. And based off the past couple of seasons, I'll have played that the
So
second
that's the
round.
differences this season.
Um,
Well, the next season as well.
and obviously the FA Cup you enter in the first round. I don't enter until the third round now.
And you don't enter the the
Yeah, the
Papa
Papa
John's
John's.
trophy at all.
Oh no, I'm gutted.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into this. It's been a while since
Yeah,
we played this one, but I've been enjoying this one.
it's going to be interesting. And obviously between this season finishing and the next season starting on YouTube, we'll have our Norwich one out as well. So you'll see how things are going with Norwich. You'll find out who our next team is going to be. And while we're talking Football Manager, over on Twitch, where you can find both our links in our descriptions, we're doing a save against each other on Twitch as well. I'm Liverpool, he's Manchester United, teams we support in real life. We're just going head to head, an online network save, but we have spins where things can happen.
And things have already happened.
Things have already happened. You can affect these spins. You can affect a lot of things as well. So come check us out over on Twitch as well. We don't have a set date for that at the moment, but you can find us on Twitter. We'll announce when we're going live for them as well. Do you have anything to add before we wrap this video up and prepare for season 3?
Just comment down below who you think is going to win this season. Anything that you would have done different, or any changes, players, or anything like that. And go and check out our Twitter and our Twitch, our socials, and come and check us out on Twitch. It's definitely interesting when we start playing against each other. We're not just going to be playing Football Manager. There's other games that we are going to be playing against each other or playing alongside each other. So definitely come check us out over there.
Yeah, we've already done some Power Wash Simulator together. Even when we're working together, it doesn't quite always go that well either. No. So it's always fun of that. You can talk to us in real time as well. So
yeah,
bonus or negative, depending on how you see it. But for me, I've been Tuna.
I've been Elmo.
And we'll see you in the next one.